Wasn't that a fantastic job by the Fredonia High School Madrigals? Welcome to the 86th commencement exercises of Fredonia Central School. I'm Darren Paschke, and this will be my 26th time I've attended Fredonia's graduation ceremonies, including 30 years ago today for my own graduation from Fredonia. But it is my honor and privilege to say that this is my first time as being the high school principal for the full school year. Thank you. 30 years ago, sitting in one of those seats, I definitely did not have one of these. None of my classmates did. They weren't around at all. If we wanted information on our phones, we were often in our kitchens, tethered to the wall by a 3-foot cord and dialing 555-1212 or possibly 411. I can only imagine the operator trying to respond to the information requests that we make today of Google or Siri. I'd like to go to an Italian restaurant. And from looking at the hairlines out there kind of close to mine, you probably recognize this. City and state, please. You guys remember that? But our response today would be, well, all of them. And I'd like them in order from the closest restaurant to the ones furthest away. And by the way, I'd like you to check to see if my friends are available within a 50-mile radius and book that reservation for us. And by the way, let them know that Jimmy is lactose intolerant, and you get the idea. The things we can do with technology today. Oh, how things have changed. Luckily, some things have not changed. It is still important to be polite, to have integrity, to honor others, and to put their needs before your own. If I could ask the candidates to please stand. Go ahead. You don't have to do it all together. Good practice. I'd like you to do an about face, if you would, and turn around and face the audience. Nice. I would like to join the graduating class of 2017 in thanking their parents, their family, their teachers, and their friends who are in attendance today and who have helped make today possible. I think that you all deserve a standing ovation. The graduates can turn back around and be seated. Thank you. Great expectations and great rewards are hallmarks of Fredonia Central School graduates. Now, I know that I'm not supposed to have a favorite one, but I do, and I need to recognize this graduate because any good work that I've been lucky to be a part of is because of her endless patience, her loving understanding, and her sharing in the vision to help make our school the best place that it can be. That person would be my wife, who is also a Fredonia High School graduate, and I have to give her a standing ovation of one very quickly. It is now my pleasure to introduce the members of the stage. Please stand when I call your name. To my left in the first row, Mr. Dan Parker, Assistant High School Principal. Mr. Matthew Zevenbergen, Valedictorian. Miss Caitlin Seibart, Salutatorian. Miss Sarah Lewis, High School Guidance Counselor. Mr. Stephen Romans, High School Guidance Counselor. To my right in the first row, Dr. Lori Pless, Interim Superintendent of Schools. Ms. Christine Bell, Commencement Speaker. Mr. Michael Bobstein, Board of Education President. Mr. David Jambrone, Board of Education Vice President. Mr. Brian Aldrich, Board of Education member. Mr. Thomas Hawk, Board of Education member. To my right, in the second row, Ms. Anna Gullo, Student Council Vice President. Ms. Christina Gegenschatz, Board of Education member. Mr. Heath Forster, Board of Education member. Mr. Jin Kim, Student Performer. I think he's getting ready. Mr. Nathaniel Manning. To my right, in the third row, Mr. Vincent Gullo, Student Council President. Mr. Jackson Booth, Senior Class President. Mr. William Schrantz, Student Performer. Mr. Matthew Burr, Student Performer. And now it is my honor to begin celebrating the successful young men and women of courage, strength, pride, success, intelligence, and character that we see before us. It is now my honor to present Ms. Anna Gullo, the Student Council Vice President, to welcome the class of 2017.
Hello everyone, my name is Anna Gullo and I'm the Vice President of the student body. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome families, teachers, administration, students, and everyone else who has contributed to this momentous day in our lives. It's such an honor to be here to speak to all of you this afternoon. We students have probably dreamt of this day, which marks the end of countless last-minute government observations, speaker summaries, math review sheets, AP classes, regents, and final exams in that really hot gymnasium. Most of us have been done with all of that for a week or two, but for me at least, it isn't until right now that the reality of the situation is starting to set in. Graduation is a day to celebrate the end of our childhood and to take our first step into real life. Kind of scary. But graduation isn't just for us. It's for our parents, grandparents, and other family members to sit there, cry a little bit. I'm sure my mom's probably already cried twice at this point, and see that their 18 years of raising us has paid off. On this day, they officially send us into the world as capable young adults and hope that we don't mess up too badly. So on this day, even though the attention is turned to us, the graduates, I hope that everyone else out there realizes that this day is for you too. Thank you all so much, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the graduation of the class of 2017.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caitlin Seibart, and I would like to welcome all in attendance today, members of the Board of Education, parents and relatives, Principal Paschke, Assistant Principal Parker, and of course, my fellow Fredonia High School graduates. It is hard to believe that after over a decade of education in our hometown, we stand here today, or well, sit, poised to go out our own separate ways into the wide world. No one can tell us what our futures will hold, so instead we take this time to focus on the past 4 years of our lives and the role that Fredonia High School has had in molding us into the young adults we are today. In general, high school is a whirling, chaotic mass of transition. We enter it as 13 and 14-year-olds in all our short, gawky, middle school-esque glory, and we leave it as 17 and 18-year-olds, expected and perhaps ready to strike out on our own and find a way to contribute to society. We enter high school having devoted 2 to 3 hours a night to homework, and we leave devoting about the same time to homework, math homework that is. We enter as fresh minds, eager to try new things, and we leave as the leaders of various teams, clubs, and organizations. Most significantly, in this time period between entering and leaving, we experience many personal changes. We make new friends and occasionally lose old ones. Our life goals and career plans are refined, and we discover not only the person that we are now, but the kind of person we want to be in the future. Certainly, high school is a period of change for anyone who goes through it, but that is where the universality of high school ends. Everyone's experience individually of high school is a little bit different. When I look back at my time spent at Fredonia High School in the coming years, I will remember with fondness singing the fight song before volleyball games, the moment the girls' basketball team was christened the Narwhals, and our softball pregame Pump It Up ritual. I will remember struggling through AP US history tests, luckily with the aid of hot chocolate, AP physics and calculus review sessions echoing with proclamations of failure, oftentimes followed by success, and the many lessons learned in AP government, such as that a mandate is in order to implement policy, or the correct spelling of the word potato. But these are not memories all my fellow graduates will share. Some of your reflections on Fredonia will be filled with memories of the musical, band, or art classes. Others among you will remember involvement in the yearbook, quiz bowl, game club, student council, Model United Nations, Interact Club, or even taking classes at the BOCES Center. Still others will move on in their lives and try to forget their high school experience entirely. While all of our individual memories of Fredonia will be different, there are also some things that we will all share. Collectively, we have experienced school dances, special event days such as Health and Safety Day or Anti-Bullying Day, the senior trip, class night, and chances are all of us have heard one or two of Mr. Newell's legendary stories. It is these shared memories that, going forward, will define us as the Fredonia High School class of 2017. And so, all of our efforts over the past 4 years have culminated in this, our graduation ceremony. We have matured as students through long hours studying for tests and late nights completing homework and projects. We have developed our talents through hour upon hour of practicing, whether it be in the gym, on the field, in the auditorium, or in the studio. And most significantly, we have grown as people through the various hardships we have faced. We are now strong enough to stand on our own, savvy enough to make smart decisions, and experienced enough to know how to continue on when life does not go our way. I implore my fellow graduates, if you don't take anything else away from your experience at Fredonia High School, take this. Every one of you has achieved something truly great by being here today. No matter where you go in life, whatever you decide to pursue, you can accomplish anything and excel through any hardship because you come from Fredonia. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to all the graduates of the class of 2017. On behalf of the Heary family, including my mother-in-law, Rita Heary, who is here with us today, it's my honor to present the Thomas M. Heary Scholarship Award. Tom Heary was the principal of Fredonia High School from 1972 until 1993, when he passed away after a battle with leukemia. You probably have noticed his picture in the hallways at the high school. Tom Heary was a man of impeccable integrity who encouraged students to be leaders in the classroom and in the community. He wanted students to try their best at all times and to always treat others with compassion. This was how he raised his 4 children, Mary Rita, Michelle, Michael, and my wife, Maura, and these are the values the Heary family wanted to reflect in the scholarship winner. This year's winner was a member of the National Honor Society, the Key Club, and Harvest Chapel. She was also a 3-sport athlete during her time at Fredonia High School and a captain of the swim team. She excelled in the classroom and in the community. It's my honor to present the 2017 Thomas M. Heary Scholarship Award to Deirdre Osula.
I'm Dennis Beckman, a member of the Steering Committee and Selection Committee of the Fredonia Central School Education Assistance Fund. The Education Assistance Fund has provided scholarship awards to Fredonia graduates for the past 56 years. That's 400 scholarships at over $130,000. The fund recognizes graduates seeking to attend either a 2- or 4-year college, university, business school, or vocational school. Consideration is given to realistic goals, academic performance, financial need, community service, extracurricular activities, and work experience. The committee would like me to take a minute to express thanks to Sandy Forbes of the Guidance Office for her valuable assistance in obtaining and processing student applications. It gives me great pleasure to announce 3 students have been selected to receive awards this year.
Hi everyone, I'm Sue Staborski, and I'm also here as a FHS graduate and the mom of 2 FHS graduates, so I guess we're lots of us around today. That's a good thing. So I am happy to be here as part of the Fredonia Central School Educational Assistance Fund Committee. And one of my favorite reasons for being a part of this for so many years is an opportunity to see the students that come through Fredonia schools and the futures that they have ahead of them. It's pretty awesome to read and meet these students and learn a little bit about them. So the first award that we'd like to present today goes to a young woman that our first impression was, wow, here is someone that's going to make a difference in the world. She's already making a difference at Fredonia High School. We can just imagine what she'll do in the future. We always ask for recommendations so we can learn a little bit more about this student in addition to their interview and their essays. And I just wanted to share a couple of things that the teachers were able to say about this student. That she has a tremendous drive and initiative, that she has an excellent rapport with her peers and her teachers. She doesn't let setbacks deter her from her goals. She is truly a positive influence. Her coach told us that she's a natural leader with the ability to make everyone feel comfortable and welcomed. She has unmatched leadership skills. She exemplifies a role model. She has a strong desire to achieve greatness and with a desire that lights the room on fire. We are thrilled to present Sydney Swan with the first award. our second award goes to a young man, and we were struck immediately by his absolute love and dedication to his family. I know everyone here could say they love their family, but this young man really, truly just was able to put it into words that makes you want to meet the family and thank them for doing such a great job raising this young man. So this young man's teachers told us that he has a positive attitude, an impressive work ethic above others, a desire to learn that never stops, and most importantly, from a parent's point of view, respectful and kind to everyone. He was well-rounded with many volunteering, community, and extracurricular activities, and I also happened to find out something that's pretty cool, at least to me as a mom, is that he was a first-team All-League Class B South offensive lineman and captain of the football team. Please join us in welcoming Jacob Leswing to the stage to receive his award.
Our third award is entitled the Beckman Award and is given in memory of my parents, Celia and Joseph Robert Beckman. People often ask if there's a certain criteria needed to achieve the Beckman Award, and there is, and I can sum it up as follows. We sit in the shade today because years ago someone planted a tree. My mother loved the village of Fredonia. She helped found the Education Assistance Fund in 1961. She was 25 years a Girl Scout leader, 20 years a member of the League of Women Voters. She was 25 years a member of the PTA. She was a Sunday school teacher for 15 years and a village trustee for 10. All the while working at Eagle Street School and caring for 5 foster children, as well as my brother, myself, and me. My dad also knew the meaning of service and the importance of education, even though he was not able to pursue higher education himself. He left school in the 9th grade to help support his parents and 4 sisters. He left his family to serve the military in 1943, hitting the beach at Normandy at D-Day +9, helping to set up the first field hospital on the beach. He worked as a meat cutter to support his family, but also volunteered as a scoutmaster and scout leader. At the age of 74, he wanted to take on a new challenge. He wanted to be an ombudsman with the Office for the Aging, working in nursing homes. But when he saw the form, the first question was, do you have a high school education? Instead of checking that form, he found a teacher. He studied very hard, and within a year, he had his GED. Celia and Joseph Robert Beckman lived their lives so that others could someday enjoy the shade of the trees that they planted. This year's recipient of the Beckman Award impressed the selection committee with her personal decision to benefit her community. She decided on her own to volunteer time regularly at both the Soup Kitchen and the Lakeshore Humane Society. This has earned her praise and garnered descriptions such as an exceptional young woman, helpful and sincere. She plans to attend SUNY Fredonia, majoring in theatrical production and design. The Beckman Award is being presented to a very worthy Kaylin Hadley.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Fredonia Teachers Association and all of your teachers from pre-K right through this year, I want to say congratulations to Fredonia High School's class of 2017. Your hard work and tenacity have paid off. You earned this day, so enjoy it. Though you have reached one of life's great milestones, Your education did not end with the tests you took these last few weeks. Education is a lifelong journey. So whether your future involves a college or university, the workplace, or the military, educational opportunities will appear in many different forms, and I encourage each of you to seize those opportunities. In order to encourage our graduates to consider a career in teaching and to assist talented young people who plan to enter the teaching profession, the Fredonia Teachers Association awards a $1,000 scholarship to an individual who has chosen to become an education major, who has a cumulative average of 3.25 or higher for high school, and who has been accepted into a 4-year college or university in New York, and who has demonstrated qualities of good citizenship. In his application letter, this year's recipient compared learning music to a plant growing, where he wrote, "I love the process of progression that is evident in music. The early days of a new repertoire are characterized by many missed accidentals. With practice, the seed starts to blossom. With rich fertilizers of expression such as dynamics, phrasing, and balance, the seed of music will grow into a tall plant, which will bear fruit, feeding and satisfying those who contribute to the music and to the audience who receives it. I want to be part of that important process, as I firmly believe that learning and playing an instrument will teach children skills that are not only useful in the band room, but also the classroom, work environments, and long-term careers. This year's winner has been accepted into the music education degree program with the School of Music right here at the State University of New York at Fredonia. And now it is my privilege to present a $1,000 Fredonia Teachers Association scholarship to future music teacher William Schranz. The FHS Women in STEM Scholarship Committee encourages young women to consider a career in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, through the awarding of this scholarship. In regards to this year's recipient, the committee wrote, "Her passion for technology and engineering shone through in her essay, class choices, extracurriculars, and recommendation letters. We are impressed with her efforts to seek out engineers to shadow and her participation and success in the STEM Wars competitions. Most importantly, we applaud her pervasiveness in predominantly male classes and her insightful recognition that diverse perspectives in STEM can only improve these fields with new ideas and solutions." The committee also noted they were incredibly impressed with all the young women who applied and look forward to continuing this scholarship in coming years. The FHS Women in STEM Scholarship Committee awards this year's scholarship to Abigail Zentz.
Congratulations to the class of 2017. What a beautiful and exciting day this is for all of you and your families. It's an honor today to represent both the family of Doug and the late Ann Manley, as well as the class of 1967. For the last 30 years, the Manley family has taken this opportunity to honor their beloved son and brother, David E. Manley, who was a member of the class of 67, by awarding a generous annual scholarship to a member of Fredonia's graduating class. As I was preparing for this event, I was struck again by two things. First, by their constancy, the constancy of their love. David's father, his late mother, his brothers, sisters, as well as their spouses and children, have faithfully continued to honor David's short but distinguished life. Second, they have demonstrated an extraordinary long-term commitment to our community by supporting the dreams and aspirations of our young adults. They recognize that students educated in Fredonia go on to change the world, whether it's by grand performances on stage, success in the business or academic world, or through service to others. The student chosen by the family this year shares many of David's best characteristics, and I'm sure they would have been good friends. Both brilliant scholars, devoted friends, and loving individuals, they are people of integrity, committed to making the world a better place. David actually missed his graduation ceremony because he was an exchange student that year living in Germany. After high school, David went on to study at Colgate University and Harvard Business School, and then he joined the Peace Corps. This year, the recipient is a young woman full of promise and possibilities with a bright future ahead of her. She'll be studying international relations at Geneseo in the fall. It is a pleasure to present the 2017 David E. Manley Scholarship to Miss Destiny Draggett. She was a perfect match. On this beautiful and moving afternoon, the class of 1967 would like to congratulate the class of 2017 on your many remarkable accomplishments and offer a hand to help you on your way to the next exciting stage of your lives. Mr. Paschke was talking about graduation 30 years ago and sitting down there, but when I graduated 50 years ago, our ceremony was scheduled to be performed outside the back of the school in a sort of outdoor amphitheater. However, it rained. I'm not sure whether that was a good thing or bad thing because we crammed 160 graduates onto the stage at the high school. No one could hear, no one could see, especially if you had a name at the end of the alphabet and are only 5 feet tall. My classmates remember very little about graduation day other than desperately wanting to escape the excruciating heat in the auditorium. The one memorable highlight was a speech by one of our valedictorians who later went on to become a medical doctor. She decided the time was right to address the overpopulation crisis since global population was about to hit 3.5 billion. And she counseled everyone in the audience on the importance of birth control. She was a pioneer, and Fredonia High has a long history of producing pioneers in a wide variety of fields. We are so fortunate to live in a community that prepares its students to become successful in the wider world. Fredonia alumni are leaving their marks all over our nation and around the world, and you will too. Perhaps you'll be like Rob Sweeney, who last year became one of less than 300 people in the world to complete the Triple Crown of backpacking. Or you might become a highly respected research scientist, like 1969 grad Dr. Diane Panika. Or a senior analyst of business intelligence at the NFL, like Allison Brown Kelly. But you don't have to leave Fredonia to make an impact on your community. You can become an entrepreneur, a village trustee, or director of the school musicals. Or if you're very lucky, you might even become the principal of a high school, like Mr. Paschke. Fredonia grads can do anything. Whether you go on to study in college or enter the workforce or the military, we hope you find a way to give back to your communities and your country. If you make service to others a central part of your life, your lives will be enriched beyond measure. Our class is committed to providing assistance to Fredonia seniors. Thanks to the generosity and loyalty of classmates around the country, since 1988, we have been able to present awards to graduating seniors. These are given in remembrance of over 30 classmates who lived honorable lives and struggled courageously through illnesses and injuries. I see the same kind of grit, grace, and gumption in this year's recipients. Both bring great joy to their families, friends, and classmates. We wish them all the best as they move on to the next stage of their lives. Our first recipient that our class would like to honor is a young woman of great integrity and character. She has worked on stage crew for the musicals for many years, and we could always depend on her. She's incredibly helpful, reliable, determined, and hardworking, but also artistic, kind, and good-humored. Congratulations to Ms. Karen Makowiak. Best wishes to you, Karen. And finally, we'd like to honor a kind-hearted young lady who has persevered to overcome many obstacles. She demonstrates tremendous compassion and kindness toward everyone she encounters. When you meet her, you will no doubt be greeted with a big smile or a hug. Congratulations to Miss Marissa Hutchinson.
Good afternoon, and congratulations, class of 2017. The POW MIA Scholarship is made available by the family of a local veteran and is awarded to a Fredonia High School graduating senior. The family has established the following requirements for choosing the recipient of this scholarship. The graduating senior must be a descendant of a veteran who demonstrates a deep knowledge and appreciation of the sacrifices made by veterans during their service to our country. As this scholarship is awarded, the family requests that we take time to reflect on the extraordinary sacrifices made by those who answered the call to fight for freedom. For their efforts and sacrifice helped build today's strong foundation which drives us forward. In the dark hours of war and conflict, America's veterans, POWs, and MIAs answered freedom's call. We must not allow the sacrifices of these patriots to pass from our nation's consciousness. On behalf of the committee, I'm pleased to award this scholarship to Lindsay Laverne.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Zevenbergen. It's good to see you all this afternoon. I'd like to start by thanking our principal, Mr. Paschke, our new assistant principal, Mr. Parker, the Board of Education, the teachers, the parents, and of course, the students of Fredonia High School for helping us get to where we are today. I feel honored to be able to give this speech here today, and I wouldn't be up here without the support of my parents, Andrea and Jason Zevenbergen, my swimming and soccer coaches, my music instructors, and all of the teachers whom I've had over my high school career. Even though all of us have gone to Fredonia High School, we are all very different from one another. One person might be remembered for their musical talents, another for their academic or athletic excellence, for their kind-hearted personality, another for their sense of humor, Kevin Syracuse with his impressions, another for their beatboxing skills, Nick Piper, or for their DJing skills, Nate Manning. But each person is a complex mix of traits that makes each of us unique. Some people may have talents you don't even know about or the person themselves has yet to discover. I remember this past Halloween when David Syracuse, Kevin Syracuse, Jake Turnowski, and I went trick-or-treating in Mr. Bennett's house long after trick-or-treating hours had ended. None of us had costumes or candy bags, so we each grabbed random containers to put candy in. David used an empty flower pot, Jake used a cooler, I used one of my shoes, and Kevin used a mini Can Jam can. When we got to Mr. Bennett's house, he was surprised to see us, but really excited to show us all of his Halloween decorations. He gave each of us a piece of candy, but Kevin's fell right on the ground because the mini Can Jam can didn't have a bottom. Mr. Bennett decided to split the rest of the candy among us as it was so late, and he literally threw the candy in our respective containers, Kevin's share continuing to hit the ground. Right before we left, David asked Mr. Bennett if this counted as making up a lesson, to which Mr. Bennett just laughed and said he would see us all on Monday. Each of us graduating here today has special talents, such as making people laugh or being a good friend. Each of these talents makes us all unique, and as we move forward from high school, we need to embrace these things that make us special. Whatever you're doing next year, look for opportunities to utilize the talents that make you unique. Some of you may be attending schools that have tens of thousands of students, and you may feel like a really little fish in a really big pond. But there are always ways to set yourself apart from the crowd. You can look for clubs that interest you, participate in community events, or even just enroll in classes that interest you. Whatever you choose to do next year, in school and out, you should do things that you feel passionate about. Leaving high school, we can be whomever we want to be, and each of us needs to look at what makes us extraordinary and be the individual that we want to be. Maybe Kevin will join a stand-up comedy club, or maybe improv so he can utilize his comedy skills. Maybe Kevin has always wanted to learn how to make pottery, and you will realize his passion is art. Whatever Kevin and each of us decide to do next year, we should do things that we want to do, not things that we feel like we have to do. There's plenty of time for obligations. We need to use the time that we have to discover and express what makes each of us unique. As we are starting this new chapter of our lives, the world is in a precarious position. Each of us graduating today needs to consider how they can use their personal skills to make the world a little better. Maybe you will be a biologist who will cure cancer, or an environmental scientist who will fight against global warming. Maybe you will use skills of diplomacy and kindness to fight against diversity. Maybe you will become a psychologist and help those suffering from mental illness. Maybe you will even use public speaking skills to pursue a career in politics and create change from within. These are all very noble things, but even having a kind heart, giving a smile to a stranger, or lending a helping hand to someone in need can make the world a little better. Each person graduating here today has something that sets them apart from the rest of the class. I'm going to leave you with a quote from a Mr. Alex Venn, who on one rainy fall day said, "It's all about the journey." I think that Alex is right. We are just completing one step on our long journey. We need to embrace the best of what is behind us and make the best of the rest of our great journey. I can't wait to come back in 10 years and see what each of us has done with our special talents. Thank you.
supporters of talent at Fredonia High School. Christine Bell, a 1990 graduate of Fredonia High School, earned her Bachelor of Arts in Art History from American University of Paris. Soon afterward, Christine earned her Master's of Arts in Art History from the Courtauld Institute of Art in London. In 2000, Christine joined what was then called Zwerner & Worth, an art gallery, as a director. In 2004, she was named a partner at David Zwerner and was promoted to senior partner at David Zwerner, New York, 20th Street Gallery in 2014. As the senior partner, Christine runs David Zwerner's new gallery space on West 20th Street in New York. The program's focus is on historical exhibitions, academic scholarship and publications, and estate management. Most significantly, the gallery is a leading venue for secondary market sales and is recognized in the industry as an alternative to an auction house. Since moving into this new space, which opened in 2013, Christine has continued to grow the gallery's program, offering the first major presentation of Ad Reinhardt's work in the United States since 1991. The show was awarded the best show in a commercial space in New York by the AICA, the second time Christine had won this award. At the end of 2014, Christine was featured in Art and Auction's annual Power issue, highlighted in the Power to Watch section. Noting her secondary market strength and presence, the publication praises Christine's abilities in both commercial and curatorial endeavors. Christine's personal accomplishments have been matched by what she gives back to her community. She has hosted summer inner-city art camps for children in which their work is professionally displayed in the gallery, and their families are invited to attend a reception there in honor of their young artists. Christine also started an internship program for New York City high schools, allowing students to partner with her and intern in the gallery to learn hands-on about an art gallery and to further their goals in the art world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you Christine Bell.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a big congratulations to the class of 2017. Thank you, Principal Paschke, for inviting me here today to say a few words. It truly is an honor and a day I hope that my family and my children who are here with me will not forget. Thank you, Mom and Dad. For most of you who don't know me, I grew up here and graduated from Fredonia High in 1990. Today, I sell art to collectors and museums, sculptures, paintings, photographs by some of the world's most famous artists. So how did a small town girl like me end up selling art all over the world? I am sure most of you never knew a career like this existed, selling art. It's a crazy idea. I can assure you that when I was making my way through high school and sitting at my own graduation, I had no idea that this path existed. But strangely, I was already on it. Getting here hasn't been an easy journey, and I have to admit the toughest time I had as a young woman was during those long 4 years in high school here in Fredonia. I often felt like a fish out of water in this town. I loved art, making it, and thinking about it. I loved poetry and books and drawing, and I discovered early on that I was quite different from my friends and from other students. Actually, if I think about it, I really didn't have anyone with whom I could share the things I was most passionate about. And this was at a time when I couldn't even understand what the passion was, where it came from, or where it would lead. But I was aware that it was there, brewing and growing and pushing me forward. As a mother now, I have learned firsthand that kids are essentially born already who they are. One's passions, interests, and desires already exist within. That was me. My love of art was inside me from the very beginning. It was who I was. Although these years might appear to have been lonely ones, when I look back, they were the most important years that I would ever live. They were the years where I first heard the voice inside me, the one that is in each and every one of us, if we just take the time to listen. I realize now that this voice would have never gained the power it did to guide me to this place of professional and personal happiness if I had grown up anywhere else. Here in Fredonia, I had time, I had space, I had a place to think. I wandered around alone, walking the streets of this town year after year, looking inward. I was figuring me out. I regularly walked up Central Avenue to the college here, where at night I would lay on the ground at Maidham Hall, looking up at the magnificent spectacle of stars framed by the building's beautiful architecture. I was thinking. I walked countless times to Canadaway Creek and spent hours by the creek looking at the water, reading, sketching, making up songs and poems in my head and in my journal. I was thinking. On summer nights, I would ride my chunky old-fashioned bike up Berry Road to the lake to watch the sunset, alone, sitting on the rocks, looking at the sun sink into the lake. I was thinking. I was the odd kid that spent time in Barker Library reading poets like Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman, and Henry David Thoreau. And it was there that I found a few lines of a poem that would shape everything that I was to do from that point on, as a student, a friend, a mother, an art dealer. Thoreau wrote, "My life has been the poem I would have writ, but I could not both live and utter it." What Thoreau realized was that the life he was living was going to be his greatest work, his most incredible creation, and if he tried to capture it, document it, put it into words, he would have lost the real beauty of being in it, truly present in his life. That time I spent thinking here in Fredonia as a young girl gave me the opportunity to get to know myself, what I was capable of achieving, and what I wanted to be in this world. This time here gave me the courage to move to Chicago to start my studies, and then to Paris and Germany and London. I never felt alone or lonely from that point onwards. I had me. So I encourage you all, class of 2017, to try to resist the many distractions of today's world. Put down your phones from time to time. Stop texting all of your thoughts. Take less pictures of yourself. Stop needing an audience for every move you make, and start living life day by day, thought by thought. And I'm certain that if you give yourself the time and space to think, to get to know yourself, to listen to your inner voice, you will learn a lot about who you are and what you are capable of accomplishing. You have been given a rare gift here in this small town. Be present and embrace those early passions that you were born with, the ones that today you might have forgotten about or cast aside. Therein lies your potential, your future success. This is where you will find the right choices for a school or a job, and so on. When you look back at your life, you should see a splendid landscape of experiences and connections, of successes and failures, of people and places and conversations that have all helped you to be better, kinder, and more generous. That will be a life well lived. That is how I measure my own success. Now, as I travel the world meeting with artists and selling artwork and making exhibitions in beautiful museums, I realize how fortunate I was to have this quiet, small town as home for 18 years. I would have never gotten where I am now without Fredonia. And as I hire young people to help run our businesses in New York and London and Hong Kong, the first place I look on their resume is where they called home. For those of you with a passion for the arts, please know that a huge world awaits you. Art and design and other creative fields are multi-billion-dollar industries here and abroad. I am so happy that my career can be an example to students here in Fredonia, showing that art is not just a hobby. It can lead to many lucrative opportunities. Take note, students, I run a very coveted summer internship program at our gallery in New York City, so please send me your resume next spring. I would love to have you. Good luck, class of 2017, and congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Jackson Booth and I am Senior Class President. I'd like to start by thanking the Board of Education, Principal Paschke, Assistant Principal Parker, faculty, honored guests, parents, and fellow graduates for the opportunity to speak with you today. Each class that graduates from Fredonia shares several traits with our predecessors. Our willingness to work hard, our curiosity about the world, and our intense school spirit define us as Fredonia graduates. But despite all our commonalities, our class is unique. As I was thinking about our journey from our freshman year, I kept coming back to the words of the great Canadian philosopher, Drake, who said, "We started from the bottom, now we are here." Very profound. The class of 2017 has a long list of accomplishments. This year's seniors have made a difference in many ways, showing leadership in the classroom, on the field, in music, in our clubs, and in our community. To demonstrate this, I would like to take a look at some of our achievements from this year alone. Our seniors have led the Hillbillies to an amazing year in athletics. Our football team successfully merged with the teams from Brockton and Westfield, and football remains a part of the FHS experience. Both our baseball and softball teams had terrific seasons, with baseball progressing all the way to the Far West Regionals. The boys and girls cross-country team placed 4th at sectionals and sent senior Mike Meredith to states. Girls tennis also sent Georgie Jens to states for the 4th time of her high school career. The girls swim team continued their dominance, breaking school records and sending seniors Deidre Osula, Michaela Reynolds, and Katie Webster to the state meet. Girls soccer won the Section 6 Class B2 title for the first time in a decade, and our girls basketball team made it all the way to the Final Four at states. We've had quite a deal of success. Our class has had similar success in our outstanding music department. This year, the senior-led band and chamber choir won gold at the New York State School Music Association Majors Competition, and Will Schrantz was first chair for alto saxophone in the Conference All-State Symphonic Band. Countless seniors participated this year in the cast, pit orchestra, and stage crew of the musical production Footloose, which had record attendance on multiple nights. On top of this, several seniors helped with the formation of Fredonia's first ever Music Honors Society. Our class has also showed leadership in the art department. They constructed 3 mosaic murals that are displayed around the school, held several community paint nights, and painted 4 murals for the Darwin R. Barker Library. Like the music department, the art department also formed Fredonia's first ever National Art Honor Society. Clearly, they had a very productive year. In addition to these achievements, this year's seniors led many of the clubs and other extracurriculars at Fredonia High School. 2 seniors served as co-editors-in-chief of the school newspaper, with many others winning awards. 13 members of our class led the Model United Nations team to a 2nd place finish for Best Overall Delegation and a 1st place finish for Outstanding Position Paper at the Gannon Conference. These are just some of our class's many accomplishments. To those younger siblings here today, you're going to have to step it up to keep up with our class. But the uniqueness of our class is not defined only by our accomplishments. It's also defined by how we treat ourselves and how we treat each other. We've been through a lot together, made it through the highs and lows of high school. Many people have helped us along the way. I've been thinking about the teachers and staff at Fredonia High School and how they've not only helped us learn, but have also served as great role models. For me, I hope to someday love my job as much as Mrs. Hans, care for those around me as much as Mr. Newell, be as kind as Miss Lewis, and be as honest as Mrs. Terrell, although maybe she's a little too honest sometimes. These are just a few of the many people who have touched our lives at FHS, and we thank all of you. We are not the same people who walked into Fredonia High School as freshmen. We are educated, we are mature, we are changed, and we won't forget this time together. We won't forget the friends that we've made. These relationships are an important part of our success here, and we'll carry them with us always. It's been an honor and a privilege to be part of this class, and I wish each of you the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2017.
Good afternoon. At this time, with the help of really all of you, and Dr. Pless and Mr. Paschke, it's my pleasure and privilege to award high school diplomas to the members of the class of 2017. So I have to ask Ms. Lewis and Mr. Romans to introduce our graduates.
Ethan P. Aitken. Nicole Rose Atzrat. Marissa Beatrice Bonafide. Jackson Robert Booth. Sean C. Brown. Christopher Michael Buchanan. Richard J. Bergstrom III. Matthew Noah Burr. Brianna Nicole Cady. Amanda Kathleen Childs. Shelby Rose Clark. Tyler Joseph Close. Andrew Tucker Caniglio. Forrest James Crespo. Caitlin Marie Seibart. Hannah Ray Seibart. Gabriel Aiden Dake. Bodie Leaf Dalrymple. Gabriel J. Davidson. Corey Joseph Dolly. Emma K. Deckard. Cody J. Decker. Christian Bailey Draggett. Destiny Pasha Draggett. Rachel M. Echeverria. Brooke Leanne Eric. Victor Manuel Febo Sosa. Catherine Elise Fiorella. Salvador Flores. Cameron M. Forrester. Cameron's diploma will be presented by his father, current Board of Education member Heath Forrester. Lillian B. Fuentes. Georgiana Marie Jens. Kylie Gilbert Rivera. Natalie Nikita Giordano. Nathan T. Giordano. Alicia Ann Glazier. Jacob Joel Green. Anna Teresa Gullo. Anna's diploma will be presented by her grandfather, former Board of Education member Joseph Gullo. Vincent Carmen Gullo III. Vincent's diploma will be presented by his grandfather, former Board of Education member Joseph Gullo. Riley M. Gustafson. Kaylin Christine Hadley. Andrea Nola Howard. Marissa M. Hutchinson. Sarah Emily Ibach. Nathaniel E. Johnson. Robert C. Johnston. Zoya Nicole Kata. Jin Young Kim. Jared M. Larito. Alexander D. Laurie. McKenna Lee Lead. Jacob Michael Lesh. Jacob Allen Leswing. Lindsay May Laverne.
Tara Jordan Mackey. Karen Jane McCoyak. Nathaniel James Manning. Markeisha Marie Martinez. Kana Matsumoto. Kana's honorary diploma will be presented by board member Christina Gagenschatz. Michael J. Meredith. Christopher Cullen Miller. Andrew J. Montanez. Kiana Nicole Mullen. Paige Elizabeth Nicosia. Omasafe Deidre Osula. Jaime Polo Pasagali. Christopher James Pasquale. Alexander C. M. Patterson. Jeffrey J. Patz. Liam G. Pickren. Nicholas Charles Piper. Nicholas's diploma is being presented by his mother, elementary principal Amy Piper. Caroline E. Powell. Allison Nicole Price. James P. Presbytian. Sydney Rose Prisbij. Victoria Pucci Schaefer. Tiffany Nicole Quiles. Donald William Rennie. Michaela Ryan Reynolds. Dominique Marie Refrigiato. Sabrina Marie Rivera. Claudia Asia Roney. Taylor Rose Newman. Nicholas Scott Ruckman. Haley Elizabeth Sanchez. William Edward Schrantz. Parker Bryson Seddon. David Richard Syracuse. Kevin Angelo Lewis Syracuse. Andrea Erin Nicole Smith. Amanda Jane Spencer. Morgan Elizabeth St. George. Sophie Gloria Stevens. Hannah Marissa Sukanik. Paige Nicole Sutton. Sydney Rose Swan. Jacob Matthias Tarnowski. Keaton D. Taylor. Sophie Stokes Thompson. Cole Matthew Tippins. Andrew J. Tooley. Dominique Marie Valvo. Alexandria N. Vasquez. Jenna Lynn Vecchio. Haley Marie Voss. Lucas A. Voss. Kyle Z. Waro. Catherine J. Webster. Kelly Ann White. Azim Hamad Zaidi. Abigail Ann Zentz. Matthew D. Zevenbergen. Please join me in congratulating the graduating class of 2017.
Okay, we've come to that magic moment. And I'd ask all the candidates if you would please rise. The faculty and administration of the Fredonia Central School District have verified that you have successfully completed the prescribed course of high school study for the state of New York. Therefore, by the power vested in me by the state of New York and the Board of Education, I hereby award you a high school diploma. Will you all please be seated?
just trying to make things complicated for the people at FHS one more time. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vince Gullo, student body president. And the other day I was reflecting on graduation and how great of an event it is. We're here together as a class for one last time with the most precious loved ones looking on as we prepare to reach our greatest achievement to date. But the number one thing I kept thinking about was, geez, I better not cry. Because if I start crying, then Drew's gonna start crying. And if Drew starts crying, then everyone's gonna be crying. And that made me think back on the last time I legitimately cried. I was 4 years old, and I watched E.T. for the first time. Sadly. And then, in a way only my weird mind works, I realized that the movie E.T. is a lot like high school. First off, let's face it, when we're freshmen, we kind of look like aliens. We're thrown into this totally new world full of faces and experiences we've never seen before. It's scary at first, but we soon realize how great of a place it can really be. Just like how E.T. found friendship in a young boy named Elliot, we all found friendship in each other, our teachers, and our staff. And just like how E.T. had to leave Earth to move on to better things, we too, with the help and encouragement of our teachers and staff, move on to bigger and better things after high school. Of course, the comparison kind of loses stock when you realize that unlike E.T., we didn't have the federal government chasing us for weeks on end, but in a world that's ever-changing and ever-growing, high school seems to be thrown by the wayside. Our advanced society is at a point where high school is taken for granted, and all the real learning is done in college and beyond. But I don't necessarily think that's true. What high school teaches us can't be quantified with a test score or a survey. Actually, the what and what high school teaches us really doesn't matter at all. But what does matter in high school is the how. How you learned a difficult lesson, how you handled diversity, and how you treated others. Because high school is such a unique and semi-controlled environment, this is the best time in our lives for us to learn these skills. And in a world where new technology often makes some educational subjects seem obsolete, these skills are ones that will never go out of style. On behalf of my class, I would like to say that we cannot imagine a better place to learn these skills than at Fredonia High School. We are forever grateful for your dedication to preparing us for the future. Thank you and God bless.